Hello, everybody. You can call me Hunch, and today I'm wearing a collared shirt, so once again, you should be listening to me. Just kidding. Not a financial advisor. But anyway, I'm going to be talking about data points and research and some of the things that I do. This is just a small data point I'm going to be talking about. It doesn't mean it has validity. It doesn't mean it has any, necessarily any meaning behind it. But I just want you guys to realize that looking at data looking at data in general can come from many different perspectives, right? Data from a venture capitalist, data from a small individual investor, right? When I tell you something, that's a data point, right? And there's varying degrees of good data, bad data, it's just like a research study, right? You have one participant in a study, it's not so good. You have hundreds of thousands of people doing a study, the study becomes a more high quality type of study. So same thing with data points. But anyway, this is just a data point I want to talk about for Stacks, okay? So this guy, Spencer Noon, I don't know who he is, but he said, interesting to compare the recent mega raises of smart contract platforms, 450, 314, 230 million, right? And then Munib, which is what originally drew me into this tweet, right, was he said Bitcoin smart contracts are catching up, right? So I went to Excel and I decided to run a calculation, right? So I did Avalanche, Polygon, Solana, and then I did their market cap, right? Okay, so this is in millions, this is in billions, okay? I'm pretty sure I did this right. If I didn't, I'm sorry, but the decimal points, but if it's still generally going to be about the same, right? So what I found out was Avalanche raised, right? Let's see, what did I do? For every dollar of market cap, they raised $8.95, okay? For Polygon, they raised $3.35. For Solana, they raised $11.84. And for Stacks, they raised $15.33. Now, what does this tell me? This, and check my math, and if anybody has any comments to say, feel free. I'm not perfect, right? But what does this tell me? So this is from kind of a venture capital perspective, right? So I think that they are valuing the Stacks at a higher premium than they are these other smart contract platforms. Now, this can tell you a few things, right? First of all, it can tell you that these venture capitalists think that these protocols may be overvalued compared to others, right? Assuming they all have a similar mindset, et cetera, right? It's not a perfect world, right? It's not utopia, but they think their money is more at risk possibly, and so they're going to give them less per market cap, right? Because it's a higher market cap, right? It may fizzle out, right? The market cap may drop, people may leave the platform, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So this is a data point that's sort of telling me that these are maybe overvalued, right? I mean, it's possible that they could go higher up, but from a venture capitalist perspective, in my mind, they're valuing Stacks at a higher premium. Now, this is just a simple calculation, right? And the calculation could even be wrong, right? I just ran a number, how much they're getting injected into the protocol per market cap, per the value of market cap. It's a very simple raw data, but it helps me think about the global picture of one perspective, of one group of people, right? I'm talking about the venture capitalists. Now, I made this full screen because I want to say, listen, do your own research. I'm not saying this is good research. I'm just trying to extract more data, right, to either reinforce or negate my theory on these smart contract platforms or these investments, right? And you can do all sorts of calculations, right? But in my mind, the most important type of research you do is on your own and taking a calm approach and viewing it from another perspective and realizing you're not the only one in this world. There's lots of different types of investors. There's conservative investors. There's risky investors. There's thoughtful investors. There's ones that are just in it for the money. There's one that are in for it to tech. There's one that are in for it to change, for the social aspects, right? Not everybody is the same. So there's lots of different data points to look at, and this is just one of them. So what I want you to take from this is not that they're raising more dollars per market cap. It's just to look at things from another perspective to give yourself more clarity, right? You're never going to have 100% clarity. Things are going to be opaque. Things are going to be confusing. This calculation may make no sense at all, right? It could have no meaning, right? I could be, just because this is the dollar raised per market cap is higher for Stacks, it may have no correlation with the success or relationship with the success of Stacks, right? And maybe I need a team around me to help figure out if there is a correlation between that. But anyway, do your own research. You can call me Hunch. I think it's pretty interesting. Yes, sir.